Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Future Stars live on Hidayat TV. I'm your host Hassan Shah, and today we are continuing with our prophethood series when we talk about each and every prophet mentioned in the Holy Quran. Today our topic is Prophet Ayub alayhi salam. Before I continue, I'd like to introduce my guests.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Misbah.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Mohsin.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Hussein.
And thank you for that introduction. Like we do on every show, to start off the show, Misbah will read a surah, and today Hussein will be reading the translation. Okay, so could we start, Misbah, with the loud salawat? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjahum.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in Ihdinas siratal mustaqim siratal ladzina an'amta 'alayhim ghayril maghdubi 'alayhim waladdallin.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjahum.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. All praises is due to Allah, Lord of the worlds, the Eternal, Merciful, the Especially Merciful, Sovereign of the Day of Recomposition. It is you we worship and you we ask for help. Guide us to the straight path, the path of those upon whom you have bestowed favor, not to those who have evoked your anger or of those who are astray. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjahum. Thank you, Bisbal Hussein. And remember, when you read a surah in the Quran, try to read the translation too, so you know the history behind that surah and you can implement it into your life. Okay, so today's topic is Prophet Ayub alayhi salam, and Mohsin has got the first thing, but before I do that, can we have our first salawat in honor of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjahum. The second in honor of our holy first Imam, Imam Ali alayhi salam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjahum. The third with our loudest voices in honor of the Imam of our time, Imam Sahib al-Asri wa Zaman. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjahum. Okay, so Mohsin has got the first thing about Prophet Ayub. So can we start Mohsin off with another loud salawat? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjahum.
Prophet Ayub was the grandson of Prophet Ishaq. He was married to a lady by the name of Rahima, who was the daughter of Prophet Yusuf. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave Prophet Ayub many blessings. He was a wealthy man with a large flock of sheep and a lot of land. He had many children. He was very well respected by his people. Prophet Ayub was generous with his wealth. He took care of orphans, used to provide food for the poor. For all his blessings, Prophet Ayub alayhi salam remained ever thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjahum. So now this prophet, he has followers, he has people who follow him, he's well known in his community, and he has a lot of blessings and he has no trouble. So he has a nice house, he has children, he has a family, and he has money as well, and he uses that to help the poor, and he helps orphans as well. So how do you get about this prophet? So
That he's kind, caring, and he's generous.
yeah, and Misbah,
And he's pious.
yeah,
He is a very intelligent and a good soul.
yeah, that's right. And he doesn't have no problems as well. His community is listening to him. They are listening to him as well and putting these lessons into their lives, aren't they?
Yeah.
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 And he's having a good life, so.
Yeah, he has a good life as well, and he has loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of blessings from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he has no troubles. So will there be a test coming for him?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. And who do you think is going to be involved in this? Which is involved?
Shaitan.
Yeah,
Shaitan.
Iblis, which is involved in a lot of stories that we do.
Practically everything.
Yeah, he tries to create trouble as well. So let's see next. Misbah's got the next thing. So could we start, Miss Wafa, with the loud salawat?
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjum.
On seeing how much Prophet Ayyub alayhi salam used to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Shaitan decided to try and lead him away from the right path. Since he was dealing with a prophet, Shaitan requested Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for power over Prophet Ayyub's affairs and said, "O Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, while Ayyub enjoys your blessings, he remains thankful to you, but give me control over his affairs and I will make him turn away from you." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was fully aware of this, of the patience of Prophet Ayyub alayhi salam, but as a trial for his prophet and as a lesson for mankind, he granted Shaitan's request. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjum.
So thank you, Misbah. So now, as we predicted, Shaitan has gotten into this, which he always does.
And he's trying to lead him away from the
Yeah.
right path.
So he goes. So he goes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, saying that he wants control over what his affairs that he does, and like control over like his things, like what he can do to him, stuff like what he can torture him with, and strangely, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given him the power to do this. Can you tell me why? What's it?
I know, because when he never bowed down to Prophet Adam, he wasn't refusing. He wasn't refusing Allah's command. He was refusing Adam's
Yeah,
command.
we can get onto that in a minute. Like, I'm asking, like, what is Allah trying to maybe like show us?
He's showing us.
He's probably like, he's trying to test him in a way, seeing that
Yeah.
Shaitan can do as much as he can to try to take him away from the right path, but it would never happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what is he? Who is this? It's a test for Prophet Ayyub alayhi salam, but who's this a lesson for?
Mankind.
Mohsin?
The whole of mankind.
Yeah, it's for everyone everyone living. It was for everyone, the whole entire people of this planet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lesson for them, and that's why he's doing this. And Mohsin, before that, he was saying like Allah has to be just as well, and Allah has to be just as well. That's why as well he's given these things. So he's showing now this. He's done this, Allah, to show, not because like he like a strange thing to happen, like him just giving him that, but he's doing this for a reason, isn't he? To show for everyone, the whole of mankind, how you should act, and he knows how Prophet Ayyub alayhi salam is going to act, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if Misbah Mohsin, do you know the story? story what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, and if a normal human being, yeah, would like have this to deal with, do you think they could cope like Prophet Ayub?
No.
No. And this story is what, Misbah?
To
What is this to show?
show that even if Shaitan's trying to lead you away, Allah will still, you'll just still believe
Yeah,
in Allah.
still, and we'll get on more. We'll get more onto this when we get to the end of the show. So,
Showing a lesson.
yeah, it shows a lesson as well. And we'll get more onto this at the end of the show. Hussein's got the next things, so could we start saying off with a loud salawat?
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farajahum. Shaitan came down to earth and destroyed all of Prophet Ayub's animals and property. Worst of all, he killed his children as well. But despite this big misfortune, Prophet Ayub never lost faith in Allah. In fact, he turned to Allah and began to worship Allah like he never had before. When Shaitan saw that his plans were not working, he tried something else. He took away Prophet Ayub's good health and made him suffer a terrible disease. When the people saw this, they began to say that Prophet Ayub must have committed a big sin, and that was why he was being punished by Allah. So they started to avoid him. Eventually, he was told to leave the town. Salawat.
Allahumma
salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farajahum.
Okay, so we know this is the lesson now, and Allah has granted Shaitan to a power over his affairs, and now and what he actually does, he's given him power now to show a lesson to us, and now he's when he's given this, Shaitan has now come down, and what he's done, Hussein?
He's killed all his animals, he's killing all his children, and if that wasn't enough, he's now given him a disease.
Yeah, and he's destroyed his property, he's took away his wealth, he's took away a load of stuff, and most importantly, he's took away his children as well.
Yeah.
He's actually killed his children to do this. So this must be like extreme thing what Shaitan is trying to do to actually destroy Prophet Ayub.
He's trying his hardest to just get him away from the right path.
Yeah, he's trying so hard. He's done this even to he's killed his children, Prophet Ayub's children. He's come this far and given him a disease as well, to make him astray and go off the right path of what he's going on to.
And he still believes in Allah.
And he still is believing in Allah as well.
Now Shaitan must feel like he's getting nowhere.
Yeah, and he's given now this disease. So what do you think? Like, what do you think he's just gonna give up?
I don't think so. He's just going to continue trying.
Yeah, Prophet Ayub is going to continue trying to
like he won't stop believing in Allah. He will cope with it all. He won't like panic and do stupid other stuff because of this. He's just going to cope with it basically. And he still feels really bad about his children as well. He must.
Yeah. Yeah. And some other things that has really hurt him, and this disease that he's given him, but he's still going through this to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Mohsin has got the next thing. So could we start Mohsin off with a loud salawat?
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farajahum.
Prophet Ayub began to live in the wilderness and spent his time praying to Allah. His only companion was his faithful wife Rahima. He supported them by working in people's houses. And sometimes poor people who suffered great diseases would come and ask Prophet Ayub to pray to Allah to relieve them of their sufferings. Prophet Ayub would pray to Allah and his prayers would be accepted. The people would be cured of their disease. But when they asked him why he did not pray for himself, Prophet Ayub replied, I have enjoyed Allah's blessings for 80 years and it would be ungrateful of me now to start complaining just because I have put in distress for a little while. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farjah. Okay, thank you, Mohsin. So now the people have kicked him out of their town, and now he has been forced now to live in a wilderness area, like in a forest somewhere like that. So now he's living there, and people who like have some illness would actually go to him and ask him to pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and so their illness could get cured. Like if you pray through like an imam or a prophet, you have more chance of your thing being accepted, because you're saying for the sake of that big personality, that pious personality, that what those people were doing. They were asking Prophet Ayub alayhi salam to pray for them so the illness would go away, and he would do this, and his prayers would be answered and the illness would be taken away. So these people, he's got this disease as well. So the people were asking him, why doesn't he do this? And Hussein, what was his response?
It was that for 80 whole years he's been receiving blessings and he's never complained once about like something bad that's happened, and now because just like something's bad happened to him, he's not going to just start complaining all of a sudden.
Yeah, and be ungrateful for what the rest of the blessings that were given to him by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this shows not to be, if anyone gives you so much things, like your parents, someone like that, give you so much things, and then one day they say that, for example, you can't go on your game console for one day, and you be ungrateful to them and be rude to them. So
to him it's just like one small thing. Yeah,
and that's why he's showing not to be ungrateful, and to show that after all of this, if you carry on, if you be grateful and still pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or that and if we put it into the context that we was before, if we be nice to our parents, then it will all pass by, and then you'll be okay again. And this is what he's showing us. So if something bad happens, and if you still be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it will all pass by. Misbah's got the next thing, so could we start Misbah off with the loud salawat? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farjah.
7 years passed and Shaitan watched helplessly as Prophet Ayub alayhi salam remained devoted in his love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Finally, Shaitan decided he would try Prophet Ayub's patience through his wife. So one day, Shaitan came in the form of a human being to Rahima and told her that he was a doctor and that he would cure her husband of his terrible disease. Rahima was excited since she had hated to see her husband suffer so much pain. But Shaitan said he would only cure Prophet Ayub alayhi salam on one condition. Rahima asked what this condition was. Shaitan replied that when Prophet Ayub alayhi salam was cured, he would say that it was him that cured Prophet Ayub alayhi salam and not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjahum.
So now just what's happened is that Shaitan has tried once again he's tried to take him off the straight path, and now he's gone into a form of a human, and he's gone to earth and actually physically has gone to him, gone to his door, and his wife has gone to where he lives, his area where he was living, and and said to his wife that he's a doctor and he could cure his husband only on one condition, that he says that Allah never cured him, but actually that doctor had cured him. So now he's actually done this. So what do you think will happen?
I think the Prophet, he's going to tell the Prophet, and then the Prophet's going to notice Shaitan.
Yeah.
He's going to refuse the treatment, and he's not going to accept that, because he knows eventually God will cure him.
Yeah. So he's gone through these years, and now this person has come up to him saying that so imagine this, you've had this illness for around now 6 going on to 7 years, this illness, and a doctor has came up to you and said that he'll cure you from this this pain that is giving you, he'll cure you from this illness only in one condition, that you just say a few words saying that it's the doctor that cured him and not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which helped him through this time. It's not Allah who helped him, but meaning Shaitan helped him, trying to take him off the right path. So if a normal person, what do you think they would do?
They would just say it, because they've put up with this pain for nearly 7 years now, and if there was a chance of being cured, they'd just take it.
Yeah. And what does it show?
That he will never give up hope in Allah.
Yeah, that's right. And what is it showing to us?
That we should know from right or wrong, and we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will always help us.
Yeah.
And we should always keep hoping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He will eventually help us when He knows it's the right time. So Hussein's got the next thing, so could we start saying off with Allah salawat? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjahum.
Rahima wanted to see her husband well again, and so went to her husband and suggested this treatment to him. Prophet Ayub instantly realized what had happened. He knew that the doctor was really Shaitan in disguise. Finally, Prophet Ayub turned to Allah and complained about Shaitan's repeated efforts to make him forsake his beliefs. Allah accepted the prayers of Prophet Ayub and cured him of all his troubles. The Holy Quran says, "Remember our servant Ayub when he cried to his Lord, truly Shaitan had afflicted me with pain and distress. We said, stamp on the ground with your foot. This stream is for you to wash with, and a cool and refreshing drink. We gave him back his family, more like them, as a grace from us and a reminder to those who understand." Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjahum. Okay, for 7 years now, he's done this, and now Allah has given him a surah, and has told him, saying that now just do this, and then you'll be all cured from this. And this now shows that eventually it came off, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, eventually it came off, and he's told him to stamp on the ground, and then a flood of water will come up and to cool your distress and ease your pain and cure you from this. So this showed that eventually, if you kept faith in Allah, it would help you at the end, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So Misbah's got the last thing, so could we start Misbah with the loud salawat?
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil fajr.
Prophet Ayub struck the ground with his foot, and a stream of water came out. When he washed himself with the water, he saw that his sickness disappeared and he returned to normal. His wife Rahima was worried about him, but when she returned, she was amazed to see him so well. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then restored Prophet Ayub alayhi salam to his former status. He was blessed with many children and more followers than he had before. This is a great lesson for us in patience of Prophet Ayub alayhi salam. He suffered his hardship without bitterness and submitted himself to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When we are in difficulty, we should remember the story of Prophet Ayub alayhi salam and never lose our faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Salawat.
Allahumma
salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil fajr. Okay, thank you, Misbah. So now, it's at the end. Misbah, you've told the viewers. So after all difficulty, that we should remember this story. Misbah and Mohsin are saying, could you tell me why should we remember this story?
We should remember this story when we are like in trouble and we are ill. We should never lose our faith in Allah. When we are ill, we should always pray to Allah, and eventually it will get better.
We should have faith in Allah and have patience that He will cure us.
No matter what hardships you face, no matter what comes at you, you always gotta, like, you can just look at that story and then you can say that if Prophet Ayub can do it, so can I.
Yeah, that's right. And so we should remember this story in times of difficulty. So do you think you soaked up all that story?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, you sure?
Yeah.
Today is a quiz.
Yeah, now I'm doing the quiz, both of you, right?
I'm up to 10 confident.
Yeah. Out of 100%, each of you tell me.
100.
100.
So you all think you're gonna win?
Yeah.
Okay, 110%. Okay, number one, Prophet Ayub alayhi salam, this is true or false? Prophet Ayub alayhi salam was a son of Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam. Mohsin?
True. No, false.
Yeah, that's right, that was his false. Really got caught out there. Number two, Rahima was the wife of Prophet Ayub alayhi salam. Hussein?
True.
Yes, that is true. And try to put your hand up after I read the question. Number three, Shaitan destroyed all of Prophet Ayub alayhi salam's animal property and children. Same?
That's true.
Yes, that is true. Most of them, Misbah, I couldn't do it for you because you put your hand up a little bit too early. So remember, keep your hand down. And then I'll say the question. Number four, Prophet Ayub alayhi salam never lost faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hussein?
True.
Yes, that is true. So at the end of that round, Hussein has got?
I think it's 3.
Yeah, 3. Mohsin have got?
1.
1.
No, 1.
And Misbah, you have 0. Okay, multiple choice, the section. Number 1, what did the people do after they saw Prophet Ayub alayhi salam with their terrible disease? Disqualified. Okay, A, they looked for doctors all over the land that might be able to help him. B, they forced him to leave the town. C, they killed him so that would relieve him from his suffering. You put your hand up before I actually finish the sentence, so the question goes to Misbah.
B.
Yes, B, they forced him to leave the town. So Misbah, you've got 1 point, mostly you got 1 point, you're saying you got 3. Okay, number 2, how long did Prophet Ayub alayhi salam suffer his hardships? A 7 years, B 80 years, C 10 years. Misbah?
A.
Yes, A 7 years. 3. How did Prophet Prophet Ayub alayhi salam, how was Prophet Ayub alayhi salam cured from his disease? A. The people found a doctor to cure Prophet Ayub alayhi salam. B. Prophet Ayub alayhi salam agreed to Shaitan's condition, so Shaitan cured him. C. Prophet Ayub hit his foot on the ground, a spring gushed forth, and when he washed himself with the water, he was cured by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You two put your hand up before I actually finish. C. So the question goes to you saying
C.
yes, C, that's right. Okay, now the short answer section where you can't say one word to answer the question. You have to write a full. You have to read a full. You have to say a full sentence to answer this question. So number 1, what proposal did Shaitan make to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Mohsin?
Give me the power so I can turn away from you.
Yeah, I'll give you that point. The proposal that Shaitan gave to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that he could control his power over what he like his property. Okay, number 2. When the poor people asked Prophet Ayub alayhi salam why he did not pray for himself, what answer did he give them? Saying
That out of all these 80 years that I've been receiving blessings, I haven't complained once. So just one little difficulty that I face doesn't mean that I have to start complaining to Allah.
yeah, and to be ungrateful for what as he got. So saying you're on 5 points now. Mohsin, you're on 2. Misbah, you're on
3.
I don't know.
Okay, I'll give you. We'll say 2. So you two are joint so far. So 3. How did Shaitan try to tempt Prophet Ayub alayhi salam and Rahima to lose their faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Mohsin?
He tried to say that he was a doctor and Prophet Ayub was suffering from a disease. Rahima told once Shaitan said this to
What was the condition?
the condition was he would only cure him if she and him said that it was him who cured him, not Allah.
Yeah, that's right. So that was the condition. So Mohsin, now you got 3 points. Number 4, and this is the last question. So
I've already won.
Number 4. What is one lesson that we can learn from this story? I'll give it to Misbah.
We will learn that have patience in Allah, and soon you will get better, and don't listen to Shaitan.
Yeah, that is totally right. So at the end of this quiz, Hussein is first place, Mohsin is second place, and Misbah sadly is third place. But remember, you're all winners. So it looks like you've learned a lot in today's show, haven't you?
Yep.
Yeah, and I hope you viewers have learned a lot in today's show as well. Thank you for watching today's show. We'll be here next week, same time, same place on Hidayat TV. But until then, Khud Hafiz.